we have another boat. What the heck? So I found this on a marketplace. $300. That video will be coming soon, but for now, let's build a lure. So this block of wood I got, wider that way than it is that way, so I'm going to treat this as the top and do a multi-piece cod paddler. This timber, I don't even know what sort of timber this is. It's super duper light. Came off a import pallet from Italy. So it's got a bit of a knot in it there. I'll try and avoid that if I can, but if not, doesn't matter. I'll treat this end as the head. No, we'll go this way. So we're going nearly full width up here. Cut it all to 170 maybe. It's gonna be big. That's the side out of a brown paper bag. Yep, perfect. So that's the center. Cut it to 170. Fairly uniform sort of shape. Top profile, too wide. Still too wide. Still a little bit too wide. Yeah, that's sort of right on the money. Something like that. Cut that first, and we'll come back and draw the side on it. I'll drew some squared lines too so I can establish those cuts. One other thing I need to do while I've still got a square side is cut the slant at the front to put the paddler bib on. I'm just going to mark that up. So, pretty gentle slope. Alright, that's top profile. Should have drilled his eyes first, but I always forget that for some reason. Alright, so the head. I'll leave a lot of this here. I don't want it all. I'm going to have to do those eyes by hand later, they're probably going to be crooked. Alright, I'm just going to cut that. So it's got the bed on a, what did I go, 25 degree taper. Just going to try and sand out of these lines. Yeah, drilled some holes for lead. Also going to try and mark out these eyes. This is definitely not my strong suit. Getting the eyes lined up the same point. So I'm going to try and use a bit of measuring. Just don't know how yet. Purposely left a few few ridges. A ridge there, ridge there, ridge there, and a ridge there. Tapers off to round back here. I'm going to try and use one of those ridges to my advantage. So it should be the same distance back. And if I eyeball that, that one there's too high. That looks alright. I'm going to drill them. What should I go? 12, 16. Alright, only 16mm eyes I've got left. These skull ones that I made up a few videos ago. So maybe we'll throw them in it. That will heavily dictate the paint pattern I put on it. Alright, I'm going to drill those eyes and then come back, put some lead in it. So now I've got to taper that in because it's so rounded and the eyes are so big, you've got to go quite deep. So I'm going to taper that in a bit, get the lead in it, put some UV resin on it. Let's try and ram some lead in it. Right. UV resin. So I always like to leave that sit for a second, in hopes that it soaks into the wood. Gives it a bit of something to grab onto before I run out into the sun and set it. I don't really care so much about those bubbles. That's the lid hole's sealed. Just need to give it another bit of a sand. Get that all flat again. And I'll chop it in half and seal the wood. Alright. It's made it quite bottom heavy, which is good. I'm just going to jump on the bandsaw now and nick them in half, tidy them up. I'll come back and round the corners over a little. Won't bring you along for that, nothing exciting. Alright, there he is. Cut into thirds. So all I'm going to do is round off the corners, just because 2-part epoxy does not like corners, so I'm going to round them off quite hard. But apart from that, it's just going to be square joint with a single join. So first things first, I'm going to fill up the eye socket where it's too deep. That's a nightmare for putting eyes in. You end up with severe bubbles in your clear coats. Plus it's also sealing that eye socket for me. So I'll start with a small piece. Sit it in the sun. Alright, so they've been out in the sun, they're set. Get the holder out for now. So I've already done the other 2 pieces. Just gotta sand it nice and smooth using, I think it's a 400, it might be a 600. Don't know, feels 400-ish. Alright. Quick wipe down with ISO, get them ready for paint. It's just getting all that sanding dust and whatnot off it. Also gets rid of all the greases and whatnot if I've touched it, which I would have 100% touched it. Alright. If anyone's following along at home, this one's going to be a pretty easy pattern. I'm not going to put a mask on because I'm filming. Autoborn silver sealer. I won't need as much of this because I've already got the white base down. Alright, that's base coat done. Alright, just took the dogs out of the loo, so that should be dry by now, hopefully. Go on that stuff straight over this. I don't know how much do I need. Yeah, that's heaps. Alright, so we're just hitting it straight, opaque black. So you might have noticed all this mesh is done from the top side. Alright, opaque black. Alright, so next colour is this colour shift through the mesh. So this one is a purple, green, blue. Very nice colour over black. Then again, all colour shifts are good over black, aren't they? Trick is not overdoing it, which I suck at. I always overdo it. Clean this colour shift out and we'll unwrap them. Start with a little guy first. So don't forget this is the underside. Top's gonna have something stupid done to it. Alright, now for the crazy part. So that's his back, facing upwards. Not fully opaque, just mostly. So I don't know if this is going to work or look good, or might just look stupid, I don't know. See what happens. So I'm going to glue the eyes in now, and then I'm going to let it sit overnight and clear coat it tomorrow. And I'm out of 5-minute epoxy, so I'm going to try and glue eyes in with this because I don't like that other shit that went blue. So the only thing, the eyes are going to look probably out of place now until it gets a clear coat and all that shines up a bit. Alright, see you tomorrow when we clear coat. Hopefully those eyes don't fall out. The same glacier epoxy paste just gives it a nice sparkle. About that much roughly. It's a fair bit actually compared to what I normally do. Hoping that's alright. The lure's pretty big, so it's funny, I was looking at it last night thinking I should have made it bigger. It's pretty cold in here right now, so hopefully this mix is alright. It's a bloody beautiful day yesterday. It was 26 degrees I think. Last day of winter. Today I think we had a top of about 16. Raining, windy. First day of spring, cold. On butane gun. Pop all the bubbles afterwards. So I'm not too concerned about how many bubbles are in there. I've done a few lures in the past where I've tried to just go one thick coat. Ends up just bunching up. You're better off putting 2 or 3 thin coats instead of one thick coat. Let's get this guy cleaned up. Hardware in him. So we'll start with the tail piece. Hopefully my hands are clean. He's been sitting for about 3 days, so the epoxy should be well set by now. So the one thing I've got to watch with this, being a cod lure, I want a decent length worth of twist wire in it. So I'm going to try and offset these two a little bit so they overlap. Alright, so one last final check, make sure everything's how I want it. Sit it down, let it dry. Alrighty, so a couple of bits of cardboard. Fold a halfway point in it. height at the center. This is the template that we used for the lure. So maybe we could just do that. I don't want to take too much meat out of it because then it won't pick up enough water. Might look a bit prettier than just something square though. And obviously just on the sander we'll curve over the corners. Something similar to that. If it would focus. That's template one and number one that we'll try. We'll try those two, see which one I like best. I reckon that one might be the winner. That looks good. That one also looks good. Which one do I prefer more? Don't know. I think this one is the one I'm going to go with. So let's draw her up and cut her out. Quick dry sand with 400 and then I'll wet it a little bit. These little bottles, got them from the local auto store for thinners. They're extremely handy for airbrushing and washing out your airbrush. I'm probably not the first to figure that out, but just thought I'd say it in case anyone didn't know. They squirt upright, you don't have to tip them over. The other thing to watch, if that's full, right, in the summertime when the shed gets hot, it pumps all the water out because the water gets pressurized, expanded, whatever you want to do. So when you store it, loosen the lid. I come in here one day and I had fucking water everywhere and couldn't figure out why. That was the cause. So from the center, 15 mil. Actually, let's go smaller. Let's go 12. And then down the bottom, we will go 18. All that'll clean off. And then we sort of need to establish our fixing points, but we can do that after we bend it. I'm going to show you my dodgy ass bender. So this thing is pretty much like a handmade brake press. Manual, obviously. Voila. Now, let's rip all this off, give her a clean, see how she looks. Apart from having fingerprints all over it, I think we are good to go. Guys, thanks for watching another one. What do you reckon about that one? Came out pretty sweet. I like it. So for everyone that made it this far, I'm actually going to give this guy away. So the giveaway, guess the weight closest to within, say, 1 decimal point will win it. But I'm going to keep this open for quite a while. Well, it depends. So when I hit 1,000 subscribers is when I'll announce the winner. I think I've got 890 something currently, so over 100 to go. So if you want to win it sooner, get your friends and family to subscribe. So you have to be subscribed and obviously like the video if you want to, but it's not going to affect it. So all that's left now is for me to go and give him a quick test swim. I haven't weighed it yet myself, so can't give away the answer. It's going to be a pretty deadly cod lure. Actually, I'll give you a length. Hopefully that doesn't give too much away, but nobody knows how much this wood weighs, so good guessing. Alright, so from the front of the bib to the furthest piece of timber, not including the hook hanger, 190 millimeters. 3 segments, 4 bits of lettuce weight. Alright, happy guessing, guys. Hopefully we can get these subscribers up pretty quick, up to the 1,000. We'll give it away pretty soon, but if not, whoever gets it close or spot on, if you're lucky enough, will win it. Alright, let's swim this thing. Alright, so when she hits the water, it rights itself pretty quick. I've tried multiple times to get it to sit upside down, but it just won't. That big bright green back looks sick. Alright, let's see what she does. You can hear the timber clanking together. Looks like we're about to get some rain and some wind. So yeah, that guy's sick. That works awesome. So yeah, put your guesses in the comment how much you think she weighs. We're only going to go to 1 decimal place unless we get multiples of that, and then we'll go to the closest, the 2nd decimal. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Catches.